Hello, this is Julius from Basic Financials. I'm going to do a video today on lasting powers of attorney, and also just a little note about enduring powers of attorney. So what's the difference, and how to get them, and what they actually are. So I'll start off with enduring powers of attorney. Now, they're not really around anymore. You can't create new ones, but some are still in existence from when they used to be made. Now, an enduring power of attorney is something that it's basically a document that is purely to do with financial. So it is somebody enabling somebody else or other people to take to make decisions on their behalf on financial basis. So maybe on property, maybe on your bank accounts, things like that. Now, it's not anything to do with health, so that's a big difference. Enduring powers of attorney are just financial. Now, the other big difference is that they aren't effective until you actually register them, and you register them when the person who's made that power of attorney is considered to not have mental capacity anymore. And when you register them, you send them off to it's the Court of Protection, and you pay a fee when you register it. Interestingly, it's the same fee as a lasting power of attorney. The reason I say that, it will become clearer later on. So actually, you would only register your enduring power of attorney when the person who's made it, that power of attorney, is not of capacity, and then therefore the other person or the people on that enduring power of attorney can take over the affairs. Now, there are two types of lasting power of attorney. One is for financial affairs, i.e. the same sort of thing as the enduring power of attorney, and the other is for health and well-being. So I'll start off with the financial one. There are things on the form which you can specifically say the things that you want not to be able to do and things that you can do, or you can just say you can do everything. Now, the important distinction here is with the lasting power of attorney. When you register that, which is when you apply, it's not really when the person is not of legal capacity. It's before that. So you could have that lasting power of attorney in place along at the same time as the person who's made that power of attorney, so you can all make decisions, and then it's something that's lasting, it's in place all the time. Now, the way you can apply for that, you can do it online. You can go and get a solicitor to do it, but you can do it yourself online. It's a fairly easy to follow online process, and it takes a while. It's about, I think it's 22 weeks, and the fee, I think it's £72 to register it, and you pay online when you submit, and then you print out your forms. There's quite a lot of signing and witnessing involved, and you've got to get somebody to certify that the person is of mental capacity when you actually sign. So there's a few things involved with the signing, but basically it's a fairly straightforward process that you don't necessarily need solicitors with. It depends how complicated people's affairs are and how messy family situations are. But yeah, so that's how you can do that. And then the health power of attorney, that is the same sort of thing, exactly the same sort of process, applying online and registering, and you can do it before the person's not of legal mental capacity, and then that will enable, assuming that what it says on the form, the attorney, to do whatever it says on the form. Again, there could be anything that you might have put down certain specifications, for example, do not resuscitate or something like that, or what happens in the event of this, and you can appoint a number of attorneys. You can also appoint replacement attorneys, so that if the one person doesn't want to act or isn't around anymore, then the replacement attorneys can take over. And then what should happen then is, as long as that's in place and and you can show that it's in place, then doctors should or health authorities should be able to take the attorney's decisions into account on behalf of the person if they haven't specifically said anything in their form. Now, so that's the process. Again, that's a £72 fee registration. So if you did both at the same time, you got two lots of £72. And it does take about 22 weeks. So it's worth getting in place, possibly. I don't know. That's the thing that I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure the financial one would be a good idea. There are things you can do to get around it, but not technically legal. You know, if you're logging into somebody else's bank details, like your mum or your dad's bank details, and you're using their login and you're not named on the account, then that's technically not right. Whereas if you've got a lasting power of attorney for financial affairs, then you can set things up so that it's all legitimate. So it's probably a good idea for the financial. The health side of things, I don't know. I mean, I can't see that doctors wouldn't take your thoughts into account and do the best for the patient anyway. And then who are you to say something other than what the doctors are? But anyway, most people, solicitors and like Age Concern, for example, will all recommend that you have a lasting power of attorney in place, and health authorities really like you to have them in place as well, so that they don't have to make final decisions on things. So I guess the advice probably has to be, yes, it is a good idea. Right, I think that's probably enough on lasting powers of attorney, but I just wanted to sort of show what that distinction on enduring powers of attorney. Remember, you don't make new enduring powers of attorney anymore, but they are still around because they are still in force and able to be registered if you had them signed off before they went out of date. So they are still around, but you only register them when the person is not of legal capacity. So I think that is probably... Oh, the other thing I was going to say about that was, if you've got an enduring power of attorney in place and you'd rather have a lasting power of attorney, then just get rid of your enduring power of attorney, because you'd have to register it anyway and pay the fee. So the lasting power of attorney for the financial affairs would be exactly the same, cost-wise and hassle-wise, as far as registering. Okay, you've got the extra signing and things, but there's something to think about if you're not too sure. Just have your two lasting powers of attorney in place. Right, I think I'm going to leave it at that, because otherwise I'm going to start drifting onto other things. Thanks for listening. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them in the box below, and if you can like and subscribe as usual, and I'll see you for another video soon.